Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast. I am your host, Pete, along with my co host here, Henry. What is up?
What's up? What's up?
Woo, man, we are so close to opening day. And we had
I
a spring training game today. We got the last one tomorrow. So that almost wraps up spring training. And I just can't wait until the games start to count, man. Like we're almost there.
I know. And it's funny because I keep hearing people debate on if opening day already happened because of the Seoul Korea games,
Yeah.
which I don't know if you watch those.
I did not. I was not
I
up that early.
I ended up waking up at like 7 o'clock both those days just out of like coincidence. So I
Yeah.
watched them and it was nice to watch Yamamoto get chilled. Not that I'm praying on his downfall or anything, but it's just kind of,
Oh, it's
it's
hilarious.
nice to see because
Yeah, it's
yeah,
hilarious.
we'll get into that a little bit later, but,
Y
no, it was cool. But I'm so excited for, like, real opening day,
Mhm.
and I don't know if you saw, but, the Dodgers and Cubs are opening the season in Tokyo next year.
Wow.
They just
Yeah,
found out today.
we're already looking to next year. Jesus. All right. I mean,
Well,
hey,
they gotta set up those overseas games a while in advance. That's the only
that is
reason
true.
why. You know what I
That is
mean?
true. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's I'm going opening day. I know you're going now.
I am!
Um,
Breaking news!
breaking news. We'll be dropping
A
some video, some content that day on the account. So
After I heard
um,
what Snicker said, I had to get a ticket.
yeah,
I
yeah,
had to get a
definitely.
ticket. Oh
And
my gosh.
and then it was announced that Wheeler Strider will be starting for each team. You know how we feel about Strider.
Yeah, well, the mustache maniac.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully, you just told me a couple minutes before we started shooting that it might possibly get moved to Friday. I so hope not, like, because I might not be able to get out of work, but I don't know. But let's
It's a
just
tough
hope
thing,
that
man. It's every year. Every
it
year.
is.
It could be so nice the whole week. Like Monday to Wednesday, it could be like or Sunday to Wednesday, it could be like 75 sunny, just a little
Yeah,
bit of clouds, not too hot, you know what I mean? And then
yeah,
Thursday, opening day, it's 50 and overcast and windy and sprinkling rain. I
yeah.
Why? It's every year. It happens every year. It got rained out last year too.
Yeah. No,
Annoying.
it's just I'm hoping it, you know, I hope it does happen. So we'll see. But so yeah, like I said, they had a spring training game today, and they had the last one tomorrow. And it's been an okay spring training. To take away from it, some guys stood out for sure. So how do you feel about it?
I feel good. I know you texted me like, should I be worried that we lost 9 games in a row or like whatever it was?
Yeah,
And so some of the things that I noticed are I guess of legit concern, but at the same time, I keep having to remind myself that it's spring.
yeah,
And I'm not saying spring doesn't matter at all because some of these things do matter, but at the
yeah,
end of the day, it's like I'm trying not to psych myself out because I've done that before and it's not a good place to be at. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like it's just a little bit of a tough thing.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, I was joking around a little bit, maybe just a little bit, but there was some worry behind that. I'm just like, like I would like to see, us pull out some wins here and maybe close some games. And that's the thing. Like they have these guys at the end of the games that you don't really know much, and it's like, they're just
Yeah.
trying to figure it out still. And it's just like, all right. And then they ended up in ties still too. Like there was a tie yesterday. And it's just like, all right, like, whatever. Just at this point, when it gets to spring training, even for the players, I feel like they're just like, all right, let's just get the opening day. Let's just get back to Philly and let's get this thing on the roll for the season.
I keep hearing interviews on WIP because their shows are going down like a week at a time, it seems like.
Hmm.
And they're doing each show is doing like a couple interviews with a couple different players or whatever. And
Yeah.
everybody is just like, this is a lot of fun, but I kind of want to go back to Philly.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
Just
ready. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Dude, there
and
was
the flu bug that went around that clubhouse, they were
uh
just like, I'm so over that. It's gonna
yeah.
call it. It's Kirk. I don't know if you saw Kirk Ring's gonna start the season on the IL.
Yep. That hurts, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna be good for us. I mean,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
if
He'll
he
get
comes
his
back
strength
and
back,
yeah,
as
for
long as it's
sure.
not like an elbow injury or an arm injury, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a
Yeah.
sickness, it is what it is. Some
Yeah.
guys get it worse than others.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly. And dude, I was watching the end of the game today, and they said there was 10,000 people in Clearwater. That was, like, the largest crowd they had all spring training, man. That's insane. That just goes to show
Dude,
you our
it's
fans, man.
it's sold out all year. Like, somebody I know, I saw in their Snapchat, they're at the game, they're on the lawn.
Mhm.
Dude, the lawn is packed full. Like,
Yeah.
from where he was sitting, I guess he took the picture from, like, where he was sitting, but he
Mhm.
was like there was people everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
So it's like it's
it's
the
awesome.
Phillies fans travel.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You know what I mean?
That's what
I'm
I'm
hoping
saying.
I can get down there next year, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah,
so. But yeah, so getting into some other, smaller things the last, week or so, and I think it might have been the beginning last week, but they said Bryce Harper was dealing with a back injury.
yeah,
But they said obviously nothing to worry about, and he did play. I think he played a little bit today, and he, played the last couple of days beforehand.
yeah.
But it's good that it's not concerning.
Yeah, I agree, and it's just I was afraid that Rob Thompson was kinda playing it down,
Yeah.
um, because, like, we had just gotten done saying it's crazy that Bryce has had a full spring training, he's been healthy the whole time, whatever,
Hmm.
and I was afraid that he was playing it down, but it shows me in just the way that Bryce has been playing because I watched the game earlier, well,
Hmm.
some of it, but,
Yeah.
I watched the game earlier that he looks good. He doesn't look
Hmm.
like he's real, like he doesn't look like his back is real stiff or anything like that. He was getting in some at bats against Mick Abel, who they sent down to minor league camp again.
Hmm.
But he was getting some at bats with him. He had a home run on that. So it's good to see that it's not really affecting him. I think that him not hitting home runs and stuff in spring training, people tend to they tend to hold him to a higher standard because he's Bryce Harper, and you should at the end of the day. But at the same time, it's like this dude is just he's gonna develop at his own pace. He always does. You know what
Oh
I
yeah.
mean? So I'm not worried about him. Like other people seem to be like very much worried that he lost his swing angle and stuff like that. It's like th- maybe he was like that because his back was stiff. Like you just don't know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's nice to see that it's a little as the week went on, I got less and less and less concerned.
Yeah. Nah, same here. It's just like I don't really I really follow people that are gonna tell me, what's exactly going on, and I do trust them, especially if it's coming from anybody inside the Phillies organization.
Of
So,
course. Of course.
um, and I trust Rob Thompson. Obviously, he said he wasn't, trying to make a big deal out of it. But I mean, like, listen, if he's been in the lineup the last couple of days, then I think we're okay. And he'll probably be, have 2 days before opening day to, chill or whatever, and he should be good by Thursday. Um, but not so much of a fan favorite, at least for us. Taiwan Walker will be starting the season on the IL because he had some pain in his right shoulder.
I think it's a Phantom IL stint. I don't think it's real. No, I do, because
Imagine.
he was dude, he was not good in the spring.
No.
Not good. And like he's not one of those guys where it's like he'll just shake it off.
Yeah.
Like, if he's not good in the spring, something's up or whatever. I think it's a Phantom Milestone. I don't think it's real. Which you brought it up. Not that it's not real. He may be injured. I'm not trying to if he is injured, I'm not trying to,
Yeah. No. No.
like I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying it has the makings of a little bit of a Phantom IL stint
Yeah.
because of his quality of play.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. I mean,
But it opens the door like you texted me earlier. It opens the door for Monty a little bit.
I'd be okay with it at this point if we sign him. The problem is, like, it's just like it's so late now. But I mean, can he? Then he's gonna have to catch up and try to get on
Right.
pace. Maybe it won't take as long, but like it's just like I don't know. It would be good to get him. That'd be awesome to hear. But
Well,
I don't know. It's like,
what would you do? Let me ask you this: what would you do if so we sign Montgomery, right?
mhm.
And then what would you do with Taiwan Walker when he comes back? Because we just signed Montgomery, we wouldn't trade for him. Would you move him to the 5 spot? Would you move Walker to the 5 spot and then send Sanchez back down to AAA?
I don't. No, I don't want. I'd rather Sanchez be in the 5 spot.
Me too.
I'd rather just move off Walker. I'd rather just get rid
Me
of him at
me
that point.
too. Me too. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just making the point that it's not like we're trading Walker. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, and it's tough right now because he's on IL.
I
So
just
I'm just making the point that it's not as cut and dry as some people think it is. Not you,
Yeah.
just some people
No,
in
no,
general,
yeah, for sure.
because they're like, "Ah, cool. We can have now with the rotation is Wheeler number one, which is
Yeah,
surprising to me. But Wheeler, Nola, Ranger, Montgomery, and and Christopher Sanchez. It's like, what are you going
yeah,
to do with Taiwan Walker? You have $18 million a year sitting on the bench. No,
yeah,
clearly he didn't like sitting on the bench. He complained about it all throughout the playoffs and after we
yeah,
lost.
yeah.
But
I don't
whatever.
know. It's if we get Monty, that'd be great, and then that stuff you can figure out later because you
Yeah,
don't know how long Walker's gonna be out.
right.
But yeah, I just yeah, I don't know. Walker is just like
You're not a fan,
it's just become annoying, and it's
right?
just like his velocity was down, so obviously we knew something was up. So I mean, who knows? Who knows how long he's gonna be out? He says he doesn't expect to miss that much time. So maybe sometime in mid-April, maybe I would say, I would guess at least. So Um, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But some other great news, especially for us, that we heard today: Mr.
Uh,
J.K. traded to the Colorado Rockies.
Adios, pal.
Thank
For
you.
cash considerations.
Welcome, cash. Welcome, cash, baby. Oh
That
man,
dude, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised.
why though? Why? Why are you surprised?
Well, I mean, we'll get into it with our lineup stuff, but it seemed like it was a really tight race between
Hmm.
him, Pache, and Rojas for the last spot. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Phillies are kind of showing their hand, not showing their hand because it doesn't really matter, but
yeah,
it's like it doesn't matter to like for like competitive advantages and stuff. But it's like I don't. They're showing their hand, and it's like I'm just very surprised. I'm happy with the move. I'm very happy. As much as it doesn't seem like I am, I'm very happy that they moved off Jake Cave. I think he's an okay player.
yeah,
Whatever. He was okay for what we needed him for, but we don't need him anymore. Adios, pal.
yeah.
You're not a part of a World Series winning roster. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, no, and listen, he was a good guy in the clubhouse
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. He did what he needed to do at some times. And listen, I wish him the best, with his career going forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm not meaning anything
No,
meaningful or
yeah.
anything
You
like
just
that.
don't want him here.
But yeah, he just needed to go, and it was about time. And it's just like we're getting younger anyway in the
Yeah,
outfield,
yeah.
and
We are.
yeah, like it would have been good to have like a left-handed bat on the bench, whatever. But we can go a little younger, and we can
But
find something a little bit more better than what we were getting from him, especially last season. I mean, everybody was like, "Oh, he's doing great this spring. He's doing great." Okay, cool. So
dude,
what's
like
he
I
gonna do in the
said,
regular season? Like,
him and Scott Kingery are spring training Hall of Fame first ballot. Like that's what I'm
get the
saying. Like it just doesn't. People think that I just don't get it. Like it just what makes no sense to me. Like I said, these people hang on these bums that we have
yeah,
in Philly, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, can we
yeah,
just like leave this guy? Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like it's just
yeah,
annoying. But
yeah,
I'm just glad to see him. I don't want to say glad to see him go because it's a tough thing at the end of the day.
yeah.
But it's just like he's just not fit for what we need.
Nope.
That's not something we need at the moment.
No.
A
Nope.
left-handed bench bat, yes, but not him.
Yeah. And like you
He's
said, he
not giving
was
you enough power. He's not giving you enough consistency to be able to play him when a guy needs a day off. He's not giving you that. It's just
mhm.
not possible.
Yeah, like you said, he had no options anymore. So it wasn't like we could have sent him down or whatever. And it was in a tight race right now with the outfield, center field, and stuff like that. And I just think he was the odd man out. Unfortunately,
Yeah, he was. He was.
just
And that was
wasn't going to
kind of
work
the
out.
point I was making last episode. Like it's kind of Pache or Rojas. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? We'll get into it with our lineups, things like that later. But it's like that's who the job was between. It was never between them and Cave. You know what I
No,
mean? It's
no,
between them and Clemens more than it's between them and Cave.
yeah. Which Clemens has been doing pretty good, but
Well, yeah, but I mean,
can
come
he?
on.
I'm not going to get hyped for. I'm not going to
Yeah, I'm
stand up
not
here and
getting
say we
hyped
need
up for
Cody
Cody
Clemens.
Clemens.
Like
Yeah, right.
it's like all right, relax.
We'd be in a rough spot.
Oh yeah, we would be
That'd be a
yeah.
really rough spot.
Yeah, at that point, it'd be, needing some help,
I do
but
I
yeah.
do want to shout out one more thing about the spring training. Our starting pitching for the majority of spring training has been insane. I'm
been awesome.
specifically talking about our starting rotation, like
Mhm.
going into the season, our like our guys that we're going to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Nola has been fairly decent. He had a couple outings where he kind of got beat up a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And then Wheeler and Ranger Suarez have been insane. They've been
Yeah.
insane. It gives me a lot of promise as to what we're gonna see from the pitching point of view this year.
Oh, yeah. No, I expect the same thing that they were doing in spring training and even better in the regular season, especially Wheeler, who I just put down as a bet to win Cy Young this year. So,
That's bold.
hey, it's bold, but
It's bold, but yeah.
I just feel like it's gonna happen. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
think he's due. I think it's
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be great this year. So, and I
Right.
can't wait. But yeah, the pitching has been outstanding in spring training. And like I said, I think it'll get even better once
Yeah.
we get into regular
Yeah, I
season.
think it will too, and especially with our bullpen too.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it was just ranked number one in the league, which was
Shocking. I never thought I would see the day.
me neither. Especially it's they listed like all of like our bullpen guys that will probably be on the roster, and there was like I think it was like 1 through 9 maybe, and
Yeah,
like
I saw that.
somebody said like 5 through 9. It's like ugh, they don't know about the back end of it, but the top end's not bad, so
No, dude, our top end is a bunch of flamethrowers.
oh yeah,
Like we have Sir Anthony, we have Alvarado, like we have all those guys. It's
we just
like
signed Strom,
just
we
not yeah, yeah.
extended him today, which is good
Right,
too. So I
right.
mean, it's gonna come together, and who knows? If there's an addition, somewhere near the trade deadline, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Which can make it even better, especially going deeper into the season.
I think they're saving a
Um,
lot of money for the trade deadline.
yeah, probably most
Yeah.
likely. So,
Just I mean, thinking of fallen soldiers we've had through our lineup day or through our bullpen days, man. Who was that guy that would run in and he would crush the Red Bull? Who was
oh my
that?
gosh, I forget his name, but that was
You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
remember
then the
like him.
JT gif where he's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
running in, he's like, "Oh my god."
yeah.
He's just shaking his head.
But it's
That
like
dude, what is that guy's name?
I don't remember the name. We have to figure that
It's
out.
like
But
Romeo or something like that. Ugh,
dude,
hold
those.
on, man.
But
Hold
it's great.
on.
It's like looking back at that now, and it's like what we have today. It's like wow, like we've improved a lot.
I'm looking this up now. It's gonna bother me if I don't.
Oh, you have to.
Give me a second.
Now we got to know. The audience needs to know.
Crushing Red Bull. All right, here we go. Jojo Romero. I was close enough.
Jojo Romero.
Jojo Romero, and he was just like he would crush the Red Bull, and he would be like just hyping
Yeah,
himself up, and he would run out to the mound or whatever. Oh my gosh, who was the guy that would sprint out to the mound?
I don't know. I think that was I think the guy that sprinted onto the mound was from the JT meme, and I think the Romero guy was another guy because I think
Oh, you're right.
I
No,
don't
you're
know
right.
the
You're
guy
right.
who was
You're right.
sprinting out and JT started shaking his head. I don't know. I forget who that was, but I whoever
Oh
obviously it
no,
wasn't
man.
somebody
Yeah.
good if I don't remember that well, but
No,
that
dude. Of course,
it's
it wasn't somebody good.
it's comedy, man.
If I mean, if Jose Alvarado did that, JT wouldn't be shaking his head
Nah,
or
yeah.
be
I
shaking his
mean,
head. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it's somebody
but
who sucks and he thinks he can run out to the thing like full sprint. It's
like you
unbelievable, dude.
like you won't be helping, my friend. More on opening day. Let's get more into that. So projected lineups and predictions. What are we thinking?
My first pick is going to be very controversial for some people, which I don't understand anymore because we win games. Is Schwarber at the DH, number one.
Mhm.
You got Turner at shortstop, number two. Bryce, three, because you just can't have him not bat in the first inning. I understand people want to put him in the fourth spot because he's clearly our best hitter, in my opinion. But I mean, outside of Schwarber, but he's got low average stuff like that. But Bryce has to bat in that that first inning. Then I have JT catching at number four, Stott at second, uh, in the five spot, Bohm at six, uh, playing third, obviously. Castellanos playing right, batting seventh, eighth, Marsh in left, and ninth, Rojas in center. And I'll tell you why I have Casty so low and I have Bohm so low. I think they're both some of the best hitters we have, but I feel like Rob Thompson is gonna be this is my prediction. This isn't necessarily what
Mhm.
I want
Yeah.
per se, but I think that's what it's gonna be
Yeah.
because, Rob Thompson is very worried about this righty lefty thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
for sure.
and I
Yeah.
like Rojas in my 9 spot.
Yeah, that's close to what I had too. Literally the exact same thing. The only thing I would possibly change, and I don't know if you put Castellanos a little higher, maybe, or I
Yeah.
mean, do you need to keep him down that like that low into the lineup? You think?
Well, it seemed like he was hitting really well in that 8 spot when they were, wherever they were, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's a tough thing, but
yeah,
I
and
think he's in a good spot down lower, and it gives you some pop at the bottom of the lineup.
that is true. That is true. Yeah, and like you said about Bryce, you made a good point. Like you can't, like you need to let him hit in the first inning. Like you have to, like that. There should be no
It's not
discussion argument.
negotiable. It's not
Yeah,
negotiable. Like
yeah. It's just and like you said
every
with
team's best hitter. I mean, for God's sakes, Aaron Judge bats third.
yeah,
Like,
and Kyle, like yeah, like you said, like we win games with him, so like he's Thompson's gonna end up probably going with him, even though like there's been times where he's like, oh, like I don't really know yet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's still kind of up in the air. It's like, all right, we kind of know where you're going with this guy. Like
right,
you're
right,
gonna put Kyle at the top of the
right.
lineup. So
Well,
I'm not.
baseball players are creatures of habit too. Like,
Yeah,
he wants to know who he's hitting before and after.
yeah, and I'm not mad
That
about it.
simple.
It is
No,
what it
me
is.
neither. Me neither. I think I was mad about it last year up until when they switched the lineup back to what we usually had and we started winning games. I was like,
Yeah,
well, I can't argue with wins.
yeah, exactly. It was weird. I saw like a lineup prediction like a couple of days ago. They said somebody had Whit Merrifield starting for us on Thursday, which I was like kind of insane. But I think
Where?
they were gonna have Marsh in center and then put Merrifield in left, which wouldn't
And
be terrible.
not start Rojas or Pache then.
Yeah, not start them, which I mean wouldn't be terrible. But then
You don't
again, I think you got to
you don't
show
start
some confidence in Rojas.
yeah,
So
you don't start a utility guy when you have a
nah,
guy on the bench who was just playing playoff games.
exactly.
No matter
Yeah,
how bad or good he did in his playoff games,
yeah,
you don't have a utility guy start when the guys behind him is fully healthy. It's that
no,
simple.
for sure. And
And Wick
like
can play anywhere.
yeah, and you gotta show you gotta show Rojas some confidence in him in himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the fans will get behind him probably. If he starts to do good or whatever. But I mean, it's
They'll
just you never know. You
they
never know.
wanna talk all this crap on Rojas and stuff, and, like, um, Gabby told me to tell you, "Suck it," because you didn't think Rojas was gonna be on the opening day roster.
Hey man, at the time,
At the time, it was like, "Who is Pache really worth it?" Like, and I'll it would have never happened. I would have never put Cave there,
no,
to
absolutely
start.
not.
So, like, I was kinda like, "Rojas is the lesser of 2 evils, let's do it."
Yeah,
And I think he'll turn into something this year. He might. As long as he's serviceable at the plate, that's all that matters because his
yeah.
defense is there.
That's the thing. Like at least he's got defense. You know what I'm saying? Like in the outfield, which is great. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah,
you look for, and
yeah.
whatever comes along with that is just a plus at this
Right,
point.
right.
But at
And
the
he's
same
in your
time, like
ninth spot.
yeah. So if you can get on base, that'd be great, especially when Kyle comes back up. To flip the
Yeah.
lineup, whatever.
Right, right.
But I think we'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? We just need everybody to be in sync and, continue to do what he does on the defensive side. Great. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
Whatever comes along, whatever. But yeah, that's what it's looking like to me too. I just think the
Who do
lineup
you
is
have in the middle of your lineup? Like the 5 through 9? Or
um
4 through 9, I should say, because I didn't get your cleanup hitter.
no, you're good. I'm okay with JT being at 4. I that's where I kind of expected him. If not, maybe 5 and switch stop. But then again, you can't. I don't know if you want to have left back to back lefties. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
and you
That's
can't have
just
stop at 4th. He's just not a
nah.
cleanup guy.
Nah, yeah, definitely not. I mean, I have in MLB The Show, I do. I have him in a spot, but hey, that's just a video game,
That's
so
cool, man. It's computers.
yeah, exactly. But no, I think JT makes sense there, and then Alec Boehm right after is good. I mean, if anything, maybe you could switch Boehm and Castellanos and put Castellanos behind Stott, but I
Yeah,
mean, either or I feel like works, but you're right with Castellanos being out low, gives you some more pop at the bottom of the lineup.
right.
And then Marsh is good where he's at. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He
yeah.
doesn't need to
Marsh does
move.
good in
Is
the 8th spot because he can get on base.
exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
So
exactly.
if he leads off the inning and gets on base, Schwarber's guaranteed to come up, and so is Trey. So it's like
Yeah,
you kind of take
exactly.
your law like, and the best part about this lineup, and like I'm sitting there, I'm trying to make it, and I'm like, Bohm's still a really good hitter. I
Yeah.
just think JT's a little bit more consistent than Bohm is at
Mhm.
most times. This year, I think that's going to change,
Yeah.
which we'll get into standout players and stuff like that. But I think it's just an embarrassment of riches. Like
Mhm.
Bohm would bat high on a lot of teams.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So he'd bat high on a lot of teams. We have a lot of good players.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think it's looking good from a lot of perspectives.
For sure. And I know people were gonna say, oh, this is the same lineup we ran with last year and ball, running it back, whatever. And I know we talked about that the last couple of episodes or before. And honestly, yes, this is close to the same lineup that we had when we lost in the playoffs, whatever. But I hope this year they do a little bit more of playing small ball. And the
Yeah,
home runs are great. Like we said before, we talked about it. Home runs are great, but just getting on base, at times when it's necessary
yeah,
and, not having to destroy the ball at the ballpark. Like
yeah.
just play some small ball. You know what I'm saying? Try to do things differently. And maybe that might be the way we can win a little bit more games, especially going into the postseason.
Well, that's what made, and I'm so happy you brought that up because last year, like going into the postseason, it was like I kept hearing everybody, well, if they don't hit the home runs, they're screwed. And I was
Yeah.
like, no way. Like that's not necessarily true. And then when I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, they don't play like you said, they don't play small ball basically at all. But
Yeah.
that's why Bohm is such a good hitter
Hmm.
because he leads a team in RBIs for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, I think last year he led him with RBIs, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
But he leads with RBIs because he's hitting doubles and long singles and like stuff like that. Those are the things that win you games, not hitting 300 home runs with your whole team.
Hmm.
Those are the things that win you games. That's small ball. That's what works.
Yep.
That's what works.
Yep.
And that's what they need. Like you just said, that's what they need to start. It's situational hitting. Their situational baseball was not the best last year.
And that's just the truth. But I think it's just got to start off right too. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
can't be like
it
halfway
does.
through. It's just got to be from the get go. You got to just
Yep.
get out there and try
Yeah.
to play some small ball. Do some
Now
things
they keep
differently.
yeah, yeah. We'll get into the pitching matchup. Did we already get into the pitching dude,
And I brought it up. Yeah, Wheeler Strider.
have you
I
seen I forgot to bring this
can't
up
stand Strider.
about the
Can't stand Strider, bro. I can't.
Did you see he got a new curveball?
I don't care.
I don't either. Like
No, I'm playing.
oh,
Nah,
he's
nah.
got
I mean, I'm not saying that it's that way, but then again,
no,
it's
yeah,
like,
no,
all
I
right,
don't
that's cool.
care.
Like
I don't
he's
care.
got a so and
Like,
Wheeler's got a new splitter, right? Isn't
yeah,
it a splitter?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
His
So
splitter is gross.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Which Strier's curveball does look good, but when he hangs when the Kyle Schwarber and it goes over the fence, I'm gonna be in my seat cheering.
dog,
Simple as
first of
that.
all, this is gonna oh well, so I think it's definitely gonna be a low scoring game, I
You
feel like,
think?
on Thursday. Yes. I do.
Interesting.
I do.
Why do you think that?
Pitchers, I mean,
Yeah,
best against best at this point. So I mean, and I
and
just
nobody's
think
burnt out. Nobody in the bullpen's burnt out either.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So I mean, I think it's definitely gonna be a low scoring game. I would definitely take the under, if anybody's wondering.
If you had to pick a pitcher to close out that game, right? Like we're up 1 or 2 runs going to the going to top of the ninth. Who would you have close out?
Jeff Hoffman.
What?
Maybe,
Really?
maybe just to see, just to
Dude, that's
see,
good. Ah, yeah.
just to see. Experiment
No,
a
you
little. You have Alvarado come
no,
in the
you
eighth,
might be
maybe.
right. I was just about to say, I feel like Sir Anthony and Alvarado, and they talked about this on the High Hopes pod. Shout out them. I know
Shout out
we
High
shout
Hopes.
them out all the time, but
Yes,
they'll be
sir.
at opening day too. Um, but we just like they're good, not mop up guys because that implies that we're down like 5 runs. But
Yeah.
they're not meant to close. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
even though Sir Anthony did the whole put him to sleep thing when he beat the Braves 2 years ago, but
Hmm.
it's it's gonna be interesting as to how that bullpen plays out because I think Orion is probably the guy who will close
Yeah,
personally, but he's on the IL, so it's not he's not available. But
yeah,
if you had to pinpoint a closer, I think it's going to end up being Orion Kirkring.
yeah, for sure. And Alvarado is going to be up there too as well for some consideration. But
If his
um,
command was better, he'd be a better closer.
yeah, for sure. And I like when Alvarado comes in like the seventh or eighth inning for
Yeah,
us. I actually do
yeah.
kind of like it. It's good. I feel
He can
like
get us the good thing about him too is if you put him in to start the seventh, he'll
mhm,
take you to one out in the eighth. Like he can get
yeah,
4 outs. He doesn't just get three. Which some people
exactly.
think, oh well, what's the difference? There's a massive difference between having a guy who can get you 4 outs and a guy who can get you 3 outs.
Yeah,
Reference Josh Hader. He didn't want to do it, which,
yeah.
you know,
He's an
whatever.
ass. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait. Thursday can't come quick
Shit,
enough.
I
Hopefully
know.
it's Thursday and not Friday.
It's
I'll be
yeah.
annoyed. But before opening day starts, I wanted to get into some like more season predictions of like division standings, especially for the NL East. We'll probably just do that division. And then some player awards and then possible breakout years on the Phillies. But yeah, let's start off with the division, NL
Okay.
East. It's
All
obviously
right.
going to be competitive. Um, especially with the Phillies and Braves at the top. Who knows what's going to happen with the other teams? But what are you feeling like? What are you saying?
So full disclosure, I have the Phillies winning the NL East this year.
Yep.
I want to say that it's not a homer pick. It's not.
No.
It's
Yeah.
not just bias.
Mhm.
This team played better than the Braves last year. When they
Mhm.
started winning the games on the paces they did, they were 100 and some odd win ball club.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lowball the Philly. I'm gonna give you the amount of wins for at least four of the teams.
Okay.
So first, I have Phillies in first with 96 wins. I don't think
Okay.
they break quite 100 this year. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be tough considering the division.
Mhm.
Because like last year we had 3 playoff teams just in our division.
Yeah.
And you know how the Marlins play us, you know how some of those teams play us. It's tough. Some
Yeah.
games you're going to lose. You're not going to win every game you're supposed to. I'll put it that
Yeah. For
way.
sure.
And then second, I have the Braves. I have them with 94 wins
Okay.
because I don't think there wi in sports, there's a lot of stuff with windows. So, like, they had this window, and I think their window's done. I really do. Like, I
Mhm.
know that their team is very good, but last year was a generational year
Oh, yeah.
for the Braves. Like, everybody in their lineup was setting a record. There's no way you can do that every year.
Yeah.
And Strider's a good pitcher, but after that, there's a serious fall off from him to their second pitcher. Then third, I have this is going well, this isn't going to surprise you. I have the Mets. I have the
Yeah.
Mets winning 85 games. I think they'll go a little bit over 100. I don't think, or 500. I don't
Mhm.
think it's going to be anything crazy.
Yeah.
Um, because they've said that they're going to punt on this year. They said it out loud already. They signed JD Martinez, and he said that he's addicted to the playoffs. Glad he's in rehab, but but
Sheesh.
well, they're not going to make the playoffs, dude. They can't.
No, we know.
There's no
Oh,
way.
yeah, no, that's
You know
what
what I
we're
mean?
saying
Like,
is what we're saying is they're not gonna make the playoffs. So,
right,
I don't know what
right.
he's talking I don't
And
know what he's yapping about, but
and
whatever it
then he
is,
said
man.
they're a hitter friendly ballpark. Like, have you been there?
Okay, bud. You say so.
But that's just him speak for they gave me the most money and I wanted to do what I want with it. Um,
Exactly.
fourth, this is going to surprise you a little bit. I have the
Okay.
Nationals.
Okay. I'm honestly I might have had him in the same spot,
I
but
have the
go ahead.
Nationals with 78 wins.
Okay. They're
They're a
young.
good young team. Yeah, they're a good young team. I think they need to polish up their pitching a little bit. I think they need to
Mhm.
polish up their starting rotation and their bullpen, more specifically their starting rotation, because that's where the tone is set. But
Yeah.
guys like CJ Abrams and their catcher Ruiz, he's a good one. Like, it's they have a lot of promise, and I think this year they take a little bit of a step forward. Then I have the Marlins winning 75 games.
Gotcha.
So I think the
Not
Marlins
terrible.
had an interesting year last year, and with Sandy Alcantara out at the beginning of the year this year, I think he might be out for the whole year. If I'm not, I don't know, I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
he had a lot of health problems at the end of last year. He's not starting opening day, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem for them. I think it's going to be something for them to overcome. Even though Luis Arise, I think, is probably one of the best second basemen in baseball, as we talked about a couple weeks ago with the second baseman rankings.
Yeah. Marlins are going in a weird direction. I don't know what this. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to see what they're doing. I don't know what's going on with them.
Me neither.
And but they always play us tough, of course. I don't know why. They just do, and it's division. Yeah. So that sounds pretty reasonable. So for me, I'm not going to go too much into like how many games each team's going to win. I'll just list them out or whatever, just to make it quick and easy. And at this point, I don't care how many games we win as long as we win the goddamn division.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah, I have the Phillies winning the division this year. Like you said, I feel like this is the year. Like this is the year that we need to take control. I feel like we're gonna have a better start out the gate. And I feel like eventually we're gonna, take over, take control towards the end. I think we're gonna run away with the division.
Real quick, did you hear what JT said on WIP last
Oh
week?
yeah, oh yeah, I heard.
He was like, "I hate." For people who didn't see it, they asked him about how important it is to win the division. He said, "I'm sick of the Braves winning the division. Haven't they
Yeah,
won it like 7 times in a row?" He said, "I'm so sick of them." I was
yeah.
like, "He's ours."
I'm saying, and it's
Don't mean
we
to
just
interrupt. Go ahead.
no, you're good. It's a good point because I saw that too, and I'm just like that's what I mean. Like it's time to take control. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll be fine even if we get the week break or the couple days off, before the second round or whatever. We're not going to
Yeah.
complain about it. We're going to go out and play ball like we know how to. But yeah, it's just this is the year to take control. And then I got the Braves second, Mets third. We're not scared of the Mets.
Nope.
And I also had the Nationals in fourth, and then the Marlins in
Okay.
fifth because I also think the Nationals they're a very like you said very young team. Looks like they're going in a direction that they like. And they can only get the only way you can go is up. You know what I'm saying for them.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think this is the year that the Phillies run away with the division for sure.
How many wins do you think how many wins do you think the Phillies get this year? Can they
Um,
crack 100 or no?
no, I'm gonna give them 97. I'm gonna go one
Okay.
up.
All right.
You said 96, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go nine.
That 96 to 99 range, there's a
Yeah,
big difference between each game. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah, I think they hit 97 this year. Um, but yeah, that seems like how the division's gonna pan out. Hopefully,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I think I mean, we seem to be on the same page with that,
oh
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely, absolutely.
So,
But yeah. So other than division standings, let's get into some player awards. So NL and AL MVP, and then NL and AL Cy Young awards. What are you
okay.
seeing this year?
I'll start with the AL since we've been starting with the NL.
Got you.
I think Adley Rushman might win MVP this year.
Okay.
He's probably a long shot odds-wise. Not a long shot, but
Yeah.
he's probably not top 10, or he's probably not top 5. He's probably top 10, but
Yeah.
my NL MVP, dude, I've been thinking about this. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. You got a lot of guys on the Dodgers, more so like the Freddie Freemans and like those guys, not
Yeah.
necessarily Otani, more like Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, who moved the shortstop, which I still am not. Everybody loves Mookie Betts. I just don't. Call me a hater, call me whatever. I just don't see it with him. I don't know what it is. I just don't see it with him.
He's a good
Um,
player, but
he is. No, he's like top 15 in the league at the very
yeah.
least. Probably
Yeah, for
top
sure.
10. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, having him as the second best player in the league is a lot.
hmm
Um, I don't think Acuna goes back to back. Dude, this is tough, man.
I don't think he goes back to that either. It's hard to do that,
No,
man.
I think it. I think it might be Freddie Freeman. To be
Wow.
honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
hmm Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It sucks because there's a lot of guys who used to be like perennial contenders and just aren't anymore. Um,
Yeah.
like the Christian Yelich's and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. I don't know. I think it's probably gonna be Freddie Freeman, and Adley Rushman's definitely a dark horse, but I see it in him. You know what I
hmm
mean?
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. When it comes to the American League, I was gonna say Julio Rodriguez.
He was in debate for me.
I don't know
That's a good one.
for some reason I just feel like he's like I say he's still young. He's got a lot to prove still. I feel like what I'm saying. Obviously, everybody knows he's a good player and stuff, but he's got such a high ceiling. I feel like, and I think this year, the Mariners, have put some pieces together. They're going to be a good team. And I think he's just gonna have a good season. Bearing any injuries. Hopefully
Yeah.
not. Because he's a good player. And then for NL, I was also kind of stumped on as well. I'm still trying to figure it out, especially for my
It's just top heavy, to be honest. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
especially for my future bets. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know. I mean, of course, I would like to say Bryce Harper, but I'm not
I wanted
even.
to, but
I
it's just
wanted
I'm
to, but
not
yeah,
gonna be that guy.
I saw somebody the other day on Twitter say Fernando Tatis for possible MVP, but I was like,
He's top 5. I just looked at the odds.
yeah, yeah, I
Adley Rushman's like 13th for AL. Julio's top 5, by the way.
yeah.
I know
I,
are you looking at the odds right now?
I am,
That's a
yeah.
tough one.
It is a tough one.
Pete's picks. What are they?
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. It's like,
It's
uh,
tough. It's tough. It's a tough
it's
one. And like I said, it's just so top heavy. You know what I mean? Like
it is.
um it's just I don't know, man. Like I am I crazy to think that Trey Turner might be a contender?
I had him last year win MVP, and obviously didn't go well.
Oh man.
You
I
know,
mean,
bro. But
it could be worse. You could have picked the number 1 in fantasy first overall when Shohei Ohtani was sitting on the board like
won't
I
be
did.
doing that this year.
I think that's the truth. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what pick I'm gonna get in our league, but number 1 sucked because I picked Trey Turner and then I had to wait like 25 minutes for my next pick.
Yeah, and that's I think it's bad players. I don't know. For right now, I'll also say Freddie Freeman just to be a safe bet right now.
He's just a
Um,
consistent guy to
he
me, you know.
is, he is, and I don't know. I was looking at players like Austin Riley. And I was also going even all the way down to Cattell Marte, which who had a possibility. He's I don't know. He could have a breakout season. You know what I'm saying? Especially after the postseason he had. But I don't know. It's hard to tell with the National League, man. There's so many
Yeah.
good players. But for now, I'd say Freddie Freeman and go with that because I just think consistent player, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and he hits over 300 almost consistently. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Almost every year, if not
Yep.
every year.
Yeah.
Um, he's just a good ball player. Like
For
plays the game
sure.
the right way. You know, all that stuff. Sounds corny, but it's true. You know,
Indeed.
he's an above average fielder. He's on paper one of the best constructed teams in MLB. You know,
Yeah.
so we'll see. We'll see. I'm curious. I'm curious how those teams out west will do as far as records, like Diamondbacks, Dodgers,
Mhm.
Padres, stuff like that. Have you seen the realignments? Have you seen people
Um.
kicking them around, like the conspiracies about that?
Yeah.
Not
I seen
conspiracies,
something. It
but
was a while ago though, which was
it'd be
weird.
regional. So they're saying Phillies, Mets, Yankees, Boston.
Oh my god, that division would be insane. Like, that
Phillies,
would be
Mets,
a
Yankees, Boston, and I think Pittsburgh was another one that was in there.
yeah, that division
Dude,
would
the
just be like,
games would be bananas.
oh my gosh, like you
Could
wouldn't.
you
I don't even.
imagine?
It'd be insane.
Uh, you know how
It'd be
fun that
insane.
would be, though?
It would be fun, but yeah, I don't think that would ever happen.
No, no.
So NL and AL Cy Young award winners. What
All
are we
right.
thinking?
So I'll go
I already got
AL
mine.
first again.
Go ahead.
Corbin Burns.
Okay, that's
I think he's going to shine in Baltimore.
okay.
You know, Adley Rushman's a great catcher, like I said. It
Hmm.
would be something if he won Cy Young and then Adley won MVP.
That would be
Um,
insane.
yeah, it would. But I think when you have a good catcher, the catcher is one of the most underrated positions in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
you have to do so much as a catcher, uh, and it goes unnoticed. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason that Carlos Ruiz caught what was it, 3 no hitters in a perfect game. Like
Hmm.
that stuff matters. Like when Lorenzen got his no hitter last year, which he just signed with the Rangers. I don't know if you saw that. It was
I
like
saw. Yeah.
4.5 or
Good
something
luck
like
to
that.
him.
But yeah, whatever. Um, he he thanked JT because like guys like that, like these elite catchers, they matter a lot to pitchers. They can make a
Hmm.
pitcher look a lot better than they are.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's gonna be Corbin Burns, and then in the NL, I have Zach Wheeler.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's got one of the top 3 lowest ERAs in the league almost every year. I just and for the Mets to just give him up for nothing was fantastic.
Oh yeah. And I think I mean I feel like he should have won. I think I saw somebody say he should have won back in like 2021. He should have won Cy Young. I forget who won that year, but He's definitely due. I feel like, and for me, for AL, I went Kevin Gausman from the Blue Jays. I think he'll have a good season.
Mhm.
And then for NL, I went Zach Wheeler as well because
Yeah.
I feel like he's due. I really do. I feel like
No,
it's
he
just
is. He
he's
is.
feeling good. He looked good in spring training, and I think he'll carry it over to the regular season. So I definitely think this is the year for him to win.
No more Ranger Suarez, huh?
No more Ranger Suarez. I was really thinking about it, man. It might be my maybe be my long shot. Maybe it'll just be
Yeah,
like the lotto. It's like, oh,
might as well. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You never know, man.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, we'll
So
see. I mean, good best of luck to you. I don't
yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see with Cy Young. Obviously, you got guys like Strider in the NL, and then some other people in the American League. Obviously Cole was probably gonna be one of them, but now that he's probably gonna be out
he
for the
was
beginning
gonna
of the
be he
season.
was gonna be my go-to,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "They're never gonna give it to somebody who's
Nah.
out for at least the first 2 months. There's no way."
Absolutely. Absolutely not. So,
Which, I
but
mean, Yankees fans just can't catch a break.
nah, they can't. It's like you almost feel bad for them. Then it's like, oh,
Almost, not quite.
almost, quite, not quite.
Not
It's like, hold
yeah,
on
not
now.
quite, not quite.
Let's get into some around the league news. I know there's been a lot of stuff going on, especially with Otani recently, and that whole situation, which is kind of a little sketchy.
Dude, it's insane.
It
So,
is insane.
I've been diving into the rabbit hole on this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know how much you know about what's going on.
See things here and there, and I just keep hearing
So,
these insane
I
things.
I'm gonna put it dude, the insane things are probably true. It's wild. So so for those of you who don't know, which if you follow baseball and you're not living under a rock,
Yeah.
you would know that Shohei Ohtani got caught up in a gambling scandal. So right now, it's not clear who made the bets, but it's alleged that Shohei Ohtani's translator, Ipe Mizuhara, which shout out to me for pronouncing that
I was gonna
however I
say
just
you
did.
must
That
have
was
practiced
wild.
that because
No, dude, I've been listening to it so much. It's right there.
yeah,
So it's alleged that he had $4.5 million of gambling debts, and uh it's it's people are saying that Shohei paid it off.
yeah,
Now, it's interesting because when it first broke, it was Shohei, paid him off, and that was it. And
mhm,
this is now. Keep in mind, I understand that legal gambling is a thing. This was to an illegal bookmaker in
mhm,
California because California does not have legal sports betting.
yeah,
So Shohei's names are on the transactions. Well, now the Dodgers or whoever it is are trying to pitch it as they came out and said, "Oh, well, we realize now that it's theft." And it's like, "Whoa." Like I thought Shohei paid it off and he was just being a good guy to,
yeah,
to his buddy. But I think now that they realize I call me crazy, but I really think that Shohei knew what was going on. He paid it off for the guy. I mean, I was listening to the 30 Take podcast. Shout out those guys. The one guy made a point and he said, I forget which one of them it was, but he said they're not going to give somebody with that low of a salary a $4.5 million credit line because the
yeah,
way the bookies work, you bet with them. It's not like FanDuel. You bet with them, and you can bet money on a credit line essentially.
yeah,
He's not going to get a $4.5 million credit line. Either Shohei's betting or he knew that he could steal money from Shohei, which
mhm,
I don't know about you. Nobody has my banking information.
yeah. That's
Like,
insane.
you know what I'm
Not
saying?
even. It's yeah.
And like
It's
now people are coming out like, oh, I work. So there's a department in banks. I don't know what it's called. I'm not rich enough, but
yeah,
they, they, they essentially like if you have a big charge on your card, like I'm talking massive, they
yeah,
they contact you as like, is this fraud?
mhm,
Blah blah blah. That kind of stuff is ran by Shohei.
yeah,
So it's like, is somebody lying here? Is like what's going on? Then it comes out that Mizuhara is the translator is seems like a compulsive liar,
yeah,
in my opinion. It came out that in the Angels media guide 2 years ago, it said that he went to I think it was like VC or some college. I forget what college it was.
yeah,
There's no record of him ever going there.
Yeah, that's what I was just
That's
about to bring that. It's
bananas, dude.
insane. When I sent
So,
that to you, I
so,
was like, "What?"
somebody said that we're 2 stories away from learning that he doesn't even know Japanese. It's like, dude, but it's just so wild because this will be on Shohei's career for the rest of his time in the MLB.
Oh,
This
yeah.
will be attached to his career for the rest of his time in the MLB. It doesn't matter. But the
Yeah.
problem is the league's like, "Oh, I don't know how this could happen." What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I sent it to you. I sent you the picture. It was like, I gotta read it out loud now. Like, it's just, um, here, hold on one second. I gotta find it.
Like, dude, it is weird. It's insane, and
Like,
I
here,
like,
here we go. Welcome back to Sports Center, presented by ESPN Bet. More on Shohei Ohtani's situation, we go to our MLB Insider at our DraftKings studio in Los Angeles, brought to you by Caesar Sportsbook. How could this happen? What? What are you talking about? How could this happen? Are you joking me? Like what? It's unbelievable. When you get into bed with these sports books, stuff like this is gonna happen.
yeah,
It's just gonna
yeah,
happen. And Shohei's name is plastered everywhere. It's everywhere. And I guarantee you, the FBI is gonna look into it, and they don't care. They don't care what the Dodgers have to say. They don't care what Rob Manfred has to say.
yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing, and, like, I was listening to, the other day I told you I was listening to, Colin Cowherd on The Herd, which
Yeah.
I love his show,
Mhm.
love listening to him and stuff like that. It's got some okay takes here and there, but,
Yeah.
he was talking about the whole Tiny thing, and he was saying, like, "I'm not gonna overreact." Like, he said at the
Yeah.
same time, when it comes to all these, like, sports books and stuff like that, it's like, you see sports nowadays. Like the one of the ads is, FanDuel or BetMGM and stuff like that. And like, yes, I know that some of it's not legal in some states, but wherever it is, it's like they're pushing that stuff on
Yeah.
sports. And he said he made an okay, like, I guess I can understand the point when he said that, like, if he's not betting on baseball, then okay, I'm not really gonna overreact. But in the terms of what you're saying, it's like the FBI looking more into it, that it can go deeper than just, betting on a specific sport if it's just
Yeah.
there's a deeper story to it,
Right.
and I don't know, it's interesting. And of course it's dealing with one of probably the most popular baseball players right now in
He's the
today's
last
league.
popular player. He's the most popular player in the last 20 years.
Yeah. So it's like it's gonna make headlines, and I feel like this is gonna be getting a little bit more like dicier on that end. And it's like now it's like that, that black cloud like sitting over the Dodgers now, and it's like they haven't made enough headlines in the offseason
Right.
already. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I, dude, I don't know,
And
man.
the crazy part about him not betting on baseball, and I understand where Colin Cowherd's coming from. I get that. It's
Yeah,
like if he's not betting to throw games or something like that, then kind of not who cares, but like who really
yeah,
cares.
yeah,
But if Shohei is the one making the bets, it doesn't matter what he's betting on because it's illegal in California.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's using a California bookie.
yeah,
It doesn't
exactly.
matter what he's betting on.
Yeah,
That's what people don't understand. Like everybody's like, "Well, who really cares if it's not baseball?" Like I get that, but at the same time, it's illegal and people face jail time.
yep,
$4.5 million is no joke, no matter who bet it.
yeah, yeah. That's a
And
lot, it's a lot of
Shohei
money.
could get some sort of consequence for paying, even if he's just being a nice guy, which it seems like Shohei is a decent human being from what I've seen so far,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah,
Even if he was just being like, "I please just don't do this again. I'll pay it off, but don't do this again. You can't be around me if this is happening."
yeah,
He's still liable to face charges,
yeah,
you know? Like, and that 30 Take podcast said it best. I'll bring up another quote from them. It was like, the FBI doesn't care how hard he hits a baseball or if he's a two-way player or not. That guy's going to jail. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? If it comes down to it,
yeah,
like, granted, he probably has the money to lessen a sentence, something like that. But like, as much as we act like that doesn't happen, it happens all the time. But
yeah.
it's a big thing, and I bet you Manfred didn't see this coming in his last 5 years as commissioner.
No, he did not. And like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see as we go along. But oh man, like baseball didn't need more on their plate. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? As they're
it's
trying
just
to,
they're trying to build the sport back up, and I
they
commend
are.
it. It's just like
And
then this happens, it's like, come on.
especially like you said earlier with the whole starting like the series that was like on wherever it was at. I don't know,
Korea, yeah.
Korea. Like, and it's like starting at 5 6 like 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody even knows. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, like that's not really gonna help your,
That's the thing too. They're not like they don't publicize anything.
no.
Like
And it's
they don't
just,
market anything.
uh, dude, it's gonna be interesting. Hey, good luck. I
I'm
mean,
just curious to see what happens as far as
yeah,
which I think that a certain pitcher is going to get signed somewhere, and I'm going to leave his name out of it. But I think a certain pitcher is going to get signed somewhere. It's going to sweep all this Otani stuff under the rug.
you think so?
I think you know the pitcher I'm talking about.
Maybe. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say his
Nah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
I think Trevor Bauer is going to get signed somewhere. It's going to dust everything under the rug. I'm not putting an opinion out. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah, yeah.
anything about
Nah,
Trevor Bauer. I'm just
yeah,
saying that's how these news cycles work. If he gets signed somewhere, this Otani stuff is gonna go to the wayside. It won't matter anymore.
yeah. I love the one tweet I sent you from the one Twitter page explaining the Phillies. Shout out to them. We follow them.
Yeah.
And it was a picture of Bryce Harper when he hit the Bedlam at the Bank home run. It says no scandals, just pure ball over here. And it's just like, dude, listen, bro. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be like a Dodgers fan right now, having to deal with all this
No,
distraction. It's
absolutely
like,
not.
dude, like
It's
oh,
so
like
funny because a month ago we all wanted to be Dodgers fans to an extent, and now we just want nothing to do with them.
no,
Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, we we didn't all want to be Dodgers fans. I'll never switch up on the Phillies, but I'm saying like
yeah,
we all wanted our teams to make those kind of moves.
exactly, exactly. And it's good luck, man. But speaking of teams out west, Blake Snell finally finds a home with the Giants, which is
Baseball purgatory. Congratulations.
he didn't want to be there. That's for sure. I know
It's
that.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He got offered $160 million from the Yankees and turned it down because he thought because that's what happens when you bet on yourself, and
Yeah,
then yourself isn't as good as you think you are.
exactly.
Snell's good, but I don't know, man.
We
That's what happens when you
are
bet on
not
yourself.
moved. We
No,
are not
no,
moved.
I just don't get it.
We are
I
not
don't
moved.
get it. They're not
Do
going to
not
do
care.
anything. They're gonna make the playoffs and get out in the first round. I forget them, dude. I'm so sick of them. Like they made a lot of offseason moves, and a lot of them were good moves, but at the same time, it's just like, come on now. Like, be honest
Yeah.
with ourselves here. Like you turn down all this money. All these Boris guys are turning down a lot of money and getting way less.
You said you were gonna try not to bring up Scott
Dude,
Boras
I
again
know.
this
I
week,
tried. I
and you
tried.
did.
Okay, I tried.
I
I
know
tried.
you were this close. I thought you
I
were like
know. I know. I know. We have like
I,
three things left, and I was not gonna bring it up, and then now whatever.
nah.
That's out of the bag.
Unfortunately, we only have one more thing left, and unfortunately, again, it's somebody we don't really like. I guess Craig Kimbrell finding a changeup out of nowhere. Did you see that? Did you see the video? They
As
struck out
Bryson
Stott.
Stott said, "What was that?"
Like, where was
That
that?
would have been nice, Craig.
Where was that in the
If
playoffs?
you threw
Where was
Alec
that?
Thomas a changeup, maybe we'd be World Series champions.
I thought it was hilarious. Like I watched the video and you could tell like Kimbrel like put
He
all of his
wanted it,
power.
dude. He wanted it
Oh,
so bad.
dude,
Pause.
he's such an ass, dude. I'm so like, dude. Like I said, I like Baltimore. I have respect for them, but good luck, bro. Because oh my god, dude, I seen that and I said, yeah, dude,
He
you
just
got it,
pisses me
bro.
off, dude.
I said, you got it,
He
bro.
should be
You got it,
pitching for the yeah. Dude, did you
dude.
see speaking of did you see Yamamoto get shelled
I did, yeah.
the
I woke
first
up.
game?
I woke up to it and I was like, wow, this just made my day already, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Dude,
Lovely.
it was a little rough. I
It
think he's gonna
was
be
rough. It
okay,
was
but
rough.
like, wow, wow, dude, that Kimbrel stuff, man. I
So,
just
somebody will draft Yamamoto in our fantasy league though. I don't think it will drive away anybody. He'll probably still
no,
get
no,
drafted.
it won't, it won't. He's too good to pass up.
Yeah, like he'll get better. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Listen, all jokes and hate aside, he will get better.
yeah, and the
It's,
ball is different. Like it's different size a little bit from the ball. He was he was in Japan, right?
yeah, I think
Japan.
so. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he was in Japan, so it's like it's a little bit different. Like the ball,
Mhm.
I'm sure is not rubbed with the same New Jersey mud. Shout
Yeah.
out to that because all the mud that fun fact, all the mud that baseballs are rubbed up with is from New Jersey, and they won't put out the location because they don't want the guy getting bombarded for his mud.
Sheesh.
I didn't know. Did you know that or no?
I did not know that. Shout out
Yeah,
Jersey.
dude.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
they said somewhere around Hamilton, but I don't know how true that is.
Hamilton. I'm near
Oh,
Hamilton. Like, whoa,
is
hold
Pete
on.
the baseball mud guy? Who knows?
I don't know. Who knows, man? But yeah, dude,
It's good. It's dude, it's shaping up for a real interesting season.
it is. It is just in general. Like I said, opening day is just a couple more days away. I can't wait.
Dude,
I need it.
it's
I
dry.
need it.
I know, it's driving me nuts. Like these next 3 days are gonna go so slow. Like,
They are. And I know we have our fantasy draft Tuesday night, which is
yes,
exciting. So that
yep,
will, make things, amp it up a little bit more, knowing we're close. But yeah, so talked about a lot today, man.
yeah,
We
yeah. We went longer than usual, but there was a lot to cover.
There
A lot to
was.
cover, and we
We
wanted to
had it
get our predictions and takes episode in. So
absolutely. And one last prediction for the season officially starts. Phillies World Series champs 2024. Just saying right now, this is the year.
yeah.
You'll remember it too. We're gonna come back to this episode. I'm telling you
Yeah,
right
I
now.
mean, I'm not gonna say you're crazy, I'm not gonna say you're you know,
This is it. This is our window, baby.
I
This is
know.
when we need to do it. But
It's 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 right there.
it
We have
is.
all the tools, we're built for October,
We are.
but we said that last year, so
Yeah. But yeah, so listen, continue to support. Make sure to follow us on the socials if you haven't so far: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. YouTube channel to find the video recordings. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't so far. Like, comment. Show us some love.
alright. Go
Go
Phils.
Phils. We out. Peace.